Welcome to the Real American Road Trips podcast series from iCast 24 in Orlando, Florida. On this episode, I sit down with Captain Leiza Fitzgerald of the Coastal Conservation Association. Check it out.
And so what we've done is we take oyster substrate, which is oyster shell. We work with pubs and restaurants that actually serve oysters.
Yeah.
We collect their spent shells after they've been shucked and eaten.
Right.
Then we take those shells and we take them out to an area in Central Florida. We spread them out. We put them in the sun. We cure them, dry them, get rid of any parasites, any organisms that are on them. And we redeploy them back into the water because oyster larvae and spat, once the larvae attach, become spat. That's how an oyster grows. And they will grow 3 times faster attaching to something that it knows, which is like, hey, mommy, they float around in the water, just like a mosquito larvae does. And then mosquito larvae, they float around till they find a material that's conducive for them to attach to. Once they attach, they grow into oysters. So what better thing to attach to than substrate they recognize, which is another oyster shell.
You just taught me something. So if you got all that, I'm sitting here with Captain Leiza Fitzgerald, and we've been talking conservation down here at iCast 24. So what organization are you with? Coastal Conservation Association.
Coastal Conservation Association of Florida.
Of Florida.
Every coastal state in the United States has a conservation association. There are 19 state chapters, but within the state of Florida, there are 44 regional chapters. So just about every county has a chapter. And what we do is the restoration and redeployment of habitat back into our coastal waters to improve water quality, habitat, and then protect anglers' rights to fish. So we do have an advocacy portion.
That's very cool. So in Florida, now I'm from North Georgia.
Yeah.
And so when we talk conservation, we're talking about our rivers and our water quality. We don't have but just a small section around Savannah and all that of saltwater stuff. So not as familiar with what's going on in Florida. So maybe, for those up in North Georgia that's going to be watching this, tell me a little bit about like specific things you guys are working on right now as far as conservation. I want to know the conservation part of it.
So conservation is the redeployment of habitat back into the water.
Right.
Things that can work to improve water quality and improve where fish live.
Yeah.
Then also improve fish numbers. So first of all, the things that we do to improve water quality are being, as we just talked about, oysters.
Yeah.
Oysters are filter feeders. They filter up to 50 gallons of water a day. We redeploy oysters back into the water system to rebuild shorelines, to rebuild oyster bars, and then to establish new oyster areas. We do vertical oyster gardens, which we hang under docks, which allow oysters to mature and then redeploy larvae back into the water that attach to oysters and hard substrate and become living oysters to again filter the water.
Yeah.
Another program is our clam restoration project. Mosquito Lagoon was world famous. It was number 11 on world famous places.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
So it has degraded over the years. Water quality has been horrific. We've lost seagrasses, we've lost mangroves. So many things have been happening to Mosquito Lagoon and the Indian River Lagoon system. We've been working to redeploy oysters there as well and regrow oysters there, as well as we are deploying a clam community.
Right.
We have a 1 billion clam initiative to deploy 1 billion clams. 1 billion clams. We're already up to 40 million clams. That is the Indian River Lagoon Restoration Project, and we work very closely with Captain Blair Wiggins, CCA Florida, and we deploy all of these clams into the water. Again, clams are a filter feeder.
That's right. I get that. What's really cool is, we're just talking about oysters and clams so far, but what I learned when I was down at Port St. Joe and talking with all those is the ecosystem and how, you talked about them being filters and how when you have a lack of something that you need there, like that filtering system, how it affects the next level up, the next level, the whole chain gets affected
it's
by just one
horrible.
thing. If one thing's missing, the chain is broke.
Well, so since we put the clams back into the water in the Indian River Lagoon, which we started almost 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago,
Right.
that water system has become gin clear in the areas where these clams are.
Yeah.
And a benefit of clams is clams poop. Their defecation
Right.
is amazing fertilizer. And now seagrass beds, wherever you find healthy seagrass beds,
Yeah.
clams, that's where your clams are. So we have healthy seagrass beds again, widgeon grass, eel grass, so many different grasses, clean water. All of these things mean more fish.
Yeah.
Pinfish, all the different fish that have cohabitated in those waters are now coming back.
They need that grass.
We're catching beautiful redfish again, seeing big schools of redfish. And this is happening all over the state. CCA Florida does some amazing work in restocking. We restocked nearly 300,000 redfish throughout the entire coastal waters of Florida, 100,000 on the east coast of Florida, and 200,000 plus on the west coast of Florida. We're doing restocking of spotted sea trout, restocking of snook populations. All of these things are tremendous efforts that our organization, brick and mortar projects, but not just for the inshore angler. One of the coolest things that we are doing is also offshore and nearshore reefs. 45 offshore and nearshore reefs have been deployed by our organization, which form habitat for juvenile fish, for bait fish. And what happens when you have bait fish?
Yeah, you bring in the sport fish.
You bring in those big sport fish.
100% like that.
Yes, sir.
You know what's really cool in listening to this, we talk about the chain as far as in the ecosystem, but even in the economy, that same chain exists. So when you lose one, it suffers in the economy and all that. And I know tourism is so big in Florida, but it is a destination for anglers.
It is.
You
We're
have
the
to
fishing
have it.
capital of the world.
You are. There's water everywhere, whether it's freshwater or saltwater. I hear from a lot of people doing, when we do our podcast about certain states and organizations don't put the money back into the restoration and, keeping our habitat suitable for future generations. And even even my generation now, and it suffers. It's kind of refreshing that Florida recognizes the need, you know what I'm saying? And it's important to them.
It's a lifestyle. It's how our economy thrives. Hotels, restaurants, fishing captains, everybody. And a lot of everything revolves around fishing in Florida and using, not just fishing, but utilizing our waterways. So it's critical. And CCA Florida has put $9.4 million in habitat restoration projects in the last 10 years back into our local waters. $9.4 million in collaboration with our partners. So there's a lot of hard work and volunteers that all make this possible. It's the organization has been around for 40 years, but we are growing with leaps and bounds, and we couldn't do it without volunteers and our partners that work with us, that become state sponsors, that get involved and really understand the mission of putting great habitat and fish back into our local waters. We do a new program that we've just started working on, and many boaters and recreational anglers see this all the time. We're losing our seagrasses to prop scars.
Yes.
And the prop scars take 10 years for them to recuperate for that grass, because they have to wait for 10 to 12 years for those prop scars to ever go away. Because grass, their rhizomes grow across. When they hit a ledge and they cannot grow on the horizontal level, they stop growing and they grow another way. They don't fill in. So we have a program, and we're working with some collaborators where we've created these huge tubes, and we are filling them with sediment and putting these tubes that have mesh that the grass can grow through. They fill the prop scars with these mesh tubes, and the grass grows through the mesh and fills in. And we're starting to fill in all of these prop scars. And it's a project that we're working in the Florida Keys down in the Biscayne Bay area. And it has been an amazing project. We hope to implement that throughout the entire state of Florida, where we will be able to fill in prop scars and continue to have our grasses grow.
You know, it's something I didn't think about. And you never think about anything like that.
People don't think about those things. And that is my biggest fear with as many recreational boaters as we get on the water. Boaters do not pay attention to right red returning and all of the channels, and you see these boats flying across these flats and they are throwing up big rooster tails or tearing up the grasses. It takes 10 to 12 years for that to repair.
That's unfortunate, but honestly, I think a lack of education leads to that too. They don't know that, because I did not know that.
Yeah, you just have to, but you see lots of other people who know where they're going still pushing the limits with bigger and better boats, with bigger and better technology, better motors, better draft, jack plates. All these things change the way boaters function, but at the detriment of our environment. So if everyone will think about what they're doing, and another really great project of ours is trash cleanup. We have trash divisions where we do trash cleanups. Instead of doing fishing competitions, we do trash tournaments all over the state of Florida, picking up trash.
Interesting.
10 tons were cleaned out of Cedar Key. We cleaned in Jacksonville recently 5 tons of garbage out of the waterways there. We partner with Angler 360, which cleans up derelict crab traps. There are so many different things that we do to improve our coastal environment. And all you have to do is become a member and volunteer. Boots on the ground.
Well, how can somebody become a member?
They can get involved by going to ccaflorida.org. It's only $40 to be a member, and you can get your hands dirty too in doing some great projects. We email you and let you know when the projects are happening in your area. You get to come out and feel good about everything you can do to help improve our environment.
Well, there you go. If you want to get dirty with Captain Leiza right there, $40 is all it takes right there. No, but seriously, no, that is awesome stuff right there. And I appreciate you doing it, because like I said, I get the benefit from it.
Yeah, everybody gets the benefit of it, and our fish get to have a great home to live in.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And now I noticed the name Captain in front of Leiza, so that means you are a captain.
Yeah.
So you enjoy fishing?
I am. Well, yes, I do. I fish professionally on the redfish circuits, tarpon circuits, and kingfish circuits for years.
So you're a pro.
Well, I would say so. I think the Fishing Hall of Fame here in Florida, actually the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, named their first angler athlete ever, and that just happens to be me.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So
yes,
I
sir.
have a celebrity on my. So like the most important person I've ever interviewed now is you.
Oh my gosh! Well, that makes me feel great. You know.
Well, it makes me feel great that you came and hang out. Hang out with us. Now, what's your favorite way to fish? I mean, what do you like going after?
So, Danny, I'm not only a fisherman, but I'm also a hunter.
I love it.
And I collaborate the two. So I prefer to hunt my fish.
Okay.
I have a small skiff. I get up on the bow, and either I'm on the poling platform and I'm looking for fish. I find the fish, I cast to them. It's sight casting, catching my fish.
Yeah.
I target tarpon, redfish, snook, triple tail, anything that I can see, I better be able to catch it.
I like your attitude.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, you know what? We need to hang out.
I already said I got to take you fishing.
I love to fish. I love to hunt.
I'm a big turkey hunter.
Oh, I love it. Now, what kind of turkeys you guys got here in Florida?
We have Osceolas.
You have Osceolas, and we have the Easterns in Georgia.
Oh, yeah. I've killed Easterns in Georgia. I have my world slam of turkeys.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Is there like anything you don't do? Do you cook?
Yeah, I don't do cigarettes. I don't do drugs.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, listen, I understand that.
But I do crazy.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. So we definitely got to hang out, because I like crazy, and I like to fish, and I like to hunt, and I like the confidence that you got. And of course, like I said, you're a celebrity.
Well,
that's awesome. I'm like, I got to get your autograph.
Well, no, I don't know about all that, but we're good to take you fishing. You can have my autograph when I catch you a big fish. How about that?
Deal.
Deal.
We'll do it. Thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
coming, hanging out with me.
Thank you.
And listen, and I appreciate all you guys are doing, because even though I don't live in Florida, I get to enjoy the benefits of coming down here from all the hard work that people like you are doing.
Well, the one thing that I would say is, and I hope I get a minute just to
You say whatever
kind of
you want.
promote something that I do within Coastal Conservation
Absolutely.
Association. Our organization is into membership growth. We started a program called STAR, which is a fishing competition that runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day, over 100 days of fishing. We award $500,000 in prizes. 100,000 of that is in college scholarships.
That's awesome right there.
We're in our 10th year of competition. I award brand new boats, Yamaha motors, tackle, trolling motors, electronics, all kinds of things for people just for catching fish, taking pictures of them and submitting them through our app. This year, it will be $1 million in college scholarships that I have awarded to kids just for catching fish, getting off their Xboxes, getting off their laptops and computers, and just catching fish, taking a picture of it and submitting it. CCA Florida, our partners, $1 million in college scholarships.
That is amazing. So not only are you talented, crazy, but you're charitable.
Oh, and I'm a rum drinker too, so don't even get me started.
There is nothing wrong with a good rum. So
Oh.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to get together and go fishing.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and get something to eat.
Yeah.
We're going to have some rum together.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're just going to celebrate all the
I
good
take
things
a
you
little
guys do.
grill on my boat. We catch a fish. We're going to have a grilled slab of fish.
Well, hell, let's do it.
Along with some really good eats and a great glass of Papa's Pilar rum. And we won't even have to leave the water because we're going to go back fishing.
I love it. It is a date. I'm serious. I'm looking forward to this.
I love taking people fishing and turning them on to my style of fishing.
My guys better make it happen.
All right. We're
All
going
right.
to do it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Danny.
hon.